Welcome to tonight's meditation class at Roleystone. So I'll be your host for tonight. Yeah. So my name is Bhante Cunda. So I've been a ordained monastic for about 15 years. So I've been going to different places to teach meditation or to conduct retreat. I just came back from Melbourne. Melbourne, we just got a new retreat center established, and it was open this year in January. So the retreat was conducted by myself and Bhante Bodhisattva. So the retreat actually went well, and it's up in Newbury Buddhist Monastery. And we didn't expect to be that many people attending. So it was about I think 27, and on the waiting list was about something like 17 or 18 people on the waiting list. So meditation is quite popular, and so people are quite interested to come and learn and to practice together as a practitioner. So what I mean by practitioner is people that is practicing to improve their mind. So in Buddhism we call that training the mind and understanding the body, because the body, the mind, our feelings and thoughts is something that is conditioned by our mind. Because if we don't train our mind, then things like fear and anxiety do arise. Because when I was younger, I used to suffer from anxiety and depression. So when I started learning meditation, I realized that my thoughts, my feelings is something that can be separated out through meditation and understanding. And it actually made me more happier. And my health improved, my anxiety basically almost reduced a lot. And then I realized that all my happiness and all my suffering is just the way I think and relate to myself in the world. Because one of the strongest emotion is fear. So fear is something that is quite normal and very common. And if we don't understand fear, then it can actually overwhelm our mind. So what I mean by that is, I'll give an example. I was basically last year was invited to go to Thailand to visit some of the monastery. And I was thinking about Thailand. I said, wow, Thailand would be great. I go to Thailand. Then I can basically practice in the forest and meet all the forest monks. Because in Thailand, a lot of the great meditation masters normally live in the monastery, in the forest. But one thing I realized, in the forest, there's also a lot of snakes. And because of the snakes, I thought, oh, geez, I have to be very careful if they don't come into my kuti, or if I'm walking from place to place, then I might encounter a snake. And because of that, I was thinking about it like for a couple of hours a night. It actually got a bit disturbing. Think of all the things that might happen, how I will encounter a snake, and how they will basically bite me. So fear, anxiety, they arise a bit. Then I stopped and wondered, have I seen snakes before? Then one thing I realized, yes, I've seen so many snakes at Bodhisattva Monastery. And it wasn't a problem when I saw them, because sometimes I'm walking and I saw something, oh, there's a snake. That's interesting. So I would stop and just look at the snake and move away. I encountered snakes so many times, and sometimes maybe just a meter away. And sometimes I'll be standing next to a snake, going, wow, that's nice. There's a snake. One time, I think I saw a snake 3 times. One day, I saw on the road. The next day I was walking and I heard something moving. I looked down and there was I think a jugai. Then the next day I saw, I think maybe a tiger snake moving around. A mouse came out, then the snake came out looking for the mouse. And I was so close to the snake, I can actually pat it in the head. But snakes are basically my friends at the monastery, because I encounter snakes quite often. And snakes are just like any other beings. They're there, and they are part of the ecosystem. And basically they do keep down some of the I guess some of the creatures in the monastery as a balance. So Then I stop and I go, how come I'm got so worried about snake, thinking about snake in Thailand, and I encountered snakes so many times at Bodhinyana Monastery. I wasn't scared. I was just curious. And I realized, yes, I have basically created fear in my mind by thinking about snakes in Thailand. But as for the snakes in Western Australia, they're actually one of the most poisonous snakes in the world. Actually, we have in Australia. But snakes are pretty, they're not out to bite people or chase after people. This is a part of the ecosystem in the forest. And I think one of the persons staying in the monastery have stepped on one before. He stepped on one, he looked down, he saw a snake, and he just basically moved away. So the snakes in the monastery are quite well behaved. I think the time that I heard the snakes to bite people is when people try and kill it. When they try and kill the snake, they will do what it takes to defend themselves. So that's one thing I heard, not to try and kill a snake, because they will attack if their life are in danger. And same for everyone else. If their life is in danger, they will defend themselves. So I realized snakes basically, snakes are basically my friends at the monastery. So sometimes I see snakes, and sometimes they will just be outside my kuti door. And I just watch him. They come, they look around for something to eat, then they move away. So sometimes I'll walk and there's a snake, and I just almost like just go past it within maybe a meter, or sometimes even less. And I think one time I did have a little baby snake that actually went in to my kuti. I woke up, I saw it moving around. So I looked carefully, oh, that's a baby snake. So I picked it up with a dustpan and put it in a bucket, and took it down to the creek so I can release it. So fear is something that we should learn to understand. And if we don't understand fear, once it's overwhelmed our thoughts, then it could be a problem. It can be do with work, can be do with things that happen in the world, because fear is something that is natural, and when there's a danger, we always be very aware and careful. But sometimes fear can be manufactured in the mind through basically social media or watching the news, because fear is what sells in the world. But in terms of our life, sometimes fear is not helpful. We worry about things that will not happen in the future. And when they do happen, it might not be that bad. It might be something that is just, would say, something that is not that serious. Because when I think about when I'm traveling overseas, what's the worst thing that happened? The plane crash. But we look at the percentage of a plane crash is actually very low. I think in a car there's a higher chance of having a car accident than in a plane. So air travel is actually very safe. So fear is something that we have to understand, because on the retreat I do realize that people tend to fear too much. One thing is old age. So sometimes when some of our practitioners, the older they get, the more they worry about their body, the more they worry about their health. To the point where sometimes if they worry too much about their health, then it does affect our body. We tend to build up anxiety. So on the retreat, there was one lady that she says she have a constant back pain all the time by taking care of her elderly mum. So usually we practice body scanning just to relax his body. So on the retreat, we did a lot of body scanning. And when she finished her retreat, going back home, she realized her back pain disappeared. It's not a problem. It's like somehow she have managed to not worry about it and allow the body to heal. So sometimes if we constantly worry about something like our back pain, sometimes it will get worse. So sometimes the mind does affect the body, and if we're not careful, we can actually create that illness in the body. So that's one thing I noticed with meditation. If we can learn to let this body go and learn not to worry about it, then we can actually learn to be at peace with the body. I mean, one reason why I started doing meditation is when I was younger, I used to be quite sickly person. But I used to worry too much, stress out about everything. And once I learned that my stress can be understood and not let go of through a silent. So when the mind is silent, you don't worry about something excessively. That's not a problem. And this body is something that we are using as a vehicle. We are born with this body. This body is very useful when we're young. We can do a lot of things with this body. But as we get older and older, this body tends to fall apart. And sometimes if we worry about it too much, it doesn't help. So when I don't worry about this body too much, I find that it can heal itself quite well. But since I ordained as a monastic, I find I rarely get sick because I don't excessively worry about this body too much. And if I do get sick or have any injury, I learn to rest. I learn to recover, and I learn to eat well, and I learn to just do body scanning. So when we do body scanning, you just feel your whole body. Any part of your body that's a bit tense, that's a bit stiff, that is a bit sore, we learn to loosen it and relax it. So this class used to be a part of the class at Armadale Hospital, and the doctors find that people who come for the class, they tend to heal more rapidly, and if they do have cancer and stuff, then they can live with the cancer for many years. Because we know of one person that have, I think, fourth stage cancer, and he just passed away from last year with fourth stage cancer when he basically fell out of a boat and drowned, and he basically had fourth stage cancer for 15 years. So he actually passed away when he fell off and drowned in the water, not from cancer, I think from some kind of accident. So something like sickness and something that is a part of this body, but we don't try not to worry about it, because the more we worry about it, sometimes it does get worse. Okay, I guess we will start the meditation. Okay, so I guess we will just turn off the lights and just leave the lamp on. Okay, I guess maybe the lamp is good. Yes, a bit of light is actually good. Okay, so if you haven't done meditation before, just follow my instruction and I'll slowly guide you into meditation. It's quite basic. It's just learning to connect with this body, connect with our feelings. The mind is a bit subtle, and we allow this mind to settle. The more the mind is settled, then the more this body can relax. Then the more that we can find peace or stillness or silence in the mind. Because when we are so busy, then sometimes it creates too much unnecessary worry and burden in the mind. So the more we relax, the more we can recover. Because I gave a simile at Newberry Retreat Center. It's like when it was snowing there, it did snow there on Sunday. It was quite cold. I think sometimes it went down to like sometimes almost -1 degrees on Sunday morning. And I gave the simile as an animal when it's really cold and it's hard to find food and it's hard to survive. What animal does is you go in hibernation. So an animal up north, like in Canada or in up north in Europe, sometimes when it's really cold, the animal will basically fatten up and go to hibernation mode. So that way they will conserve a lot of energy and basically just settle their mind and just hibernate all through the winter. So that way when they come out in spring, they have a better chance to survive and cope with the condition in the forest. So same with us. When life is tough, when we are overwhelmed with duties and worries, then what we can do is we can learn to hibernate. And so just come back to this body, feel the body, relax this body as much as possible, and allow the body to settle down. Because when the body is settled down, when the mind is peaceful, then we find that inner peace, inner happiness, and inner freedom. There's something that is always in our heart and mind, but we have to go back and find it sometimes when we get too caught up with the world, because the world is always changing, it goes by condition, and it's always, we'll say, can be very chaotic and unstable. But what is stable is our mind and our thought. Our mind and our feelings, our thought can be stable, and we'll say clear. If we learn to basically just allow things to calm down and become still. Okay, so we will start with the meditation. So all you need to do is just bring your awareness to this body, and just feel your whole body, and just you can move it around and see any part that is still a bit uncomfortable. You can just slowly adjust your body. When your body adjusts it, then you can gently close your eye. And with your eye closed, normally I'll just take 3 deep breaths, just to bring your awareness to the breathing. So just breathe in, and just breathe out. Just breathe in, and just breathe out, relax. Breathe in, and just breathe out, relax. And just breathe normally. So the breathing is just to bring your awareness to this moment. And it's good to further bring your awareness to this moment, to now, to this present moment awareness, to just allow your mind to just settle on this body, and just to feel your body from your top all the way down to your leg. We call this body scanning or body awareness. Just to feel how, if your body is tight, achy, painful, or stiff, just learn to understand and connect with our body, so we can relax it. So we start off with the top of our head. Just feel right at the top of our head, our crown. Is there any tightness or stiffness? And just relax. Relax the muscle, and relax your forehead. Then we gently bring our awareness to our face, and just relax your eyes, and relax your eye socket. Relax our cheek, relax our nose, and relax our ears. Relax our tongue, and we relax our jaw, and relax our whole face, loosening any muscle, anywhere our face is stiff. Just loosen it and relax our face. And now we bring our awareness down below our chin to our throat. As our throat is still any itchiness, you can always clear your throat, or you can always cough. We clear our throat. Then we gently bring our awareness to our neck. Just notice our neck. Any stiffness, you can just gently move it around, loosen our neck, and relax our neck. Our neck should be nice and straight, but not too rigid. Just relax the neck. And next, we gently bring our awareness to our upper body that's connected to our arm socket. So if our arm socket is raised up or stiff, just allow it to sag, allow it to loosen. So we loosen our collarbone, loosen our upper shoulder, and we allow it to sag. Then we loosen our back, shoulder blade. Make sure it's nice and loose, not too stiff, especially if we're working hard at work. Then we bring our awareness to our right hand or right arm, and just feel our right arm from our collarbone all the way to our elbows and all the way to our wrists and all the way to our right hands. So you can always gently move it around, loosen it, then relax the whole of our right arm and hands. And we do the same with our left arm, from our left arm socket all the way down to our left elbow. Just loosening it and relaxing it all the way down to our wrists and all the way to our left hands, palms and fingers. Just relaxing it and loosening it. You can always gently move it around so it's loose and comfortable. Once that's loose, then we bring our awareness back to our upper body. And we notice our chest. If there's any tightness, you can just relax our chest just by breathing calmly and naturally. Then we gently bring our awareness to our spine and just notice our spine. Make sure it's nice and straight, not too rigid. Then we loosen our spine, relaxing it and loosening it all the way down to our middle spine, relaxing it and loosening it. Then we'll continue, bring our awareness all the way down to our lower spine, loosening our lower spine. Now we bring our awareness to our hip. Make sure our hip is not too tight, loosening our tummy, relaxing our kidney. And next, we gently bring our awareness to our lower back or our bottom. And just, if you need to, you can gently move it around, relaxing it and loosening our bottom, loosening our hips. And now we're continuing doing a body scan to our lower body. We start off from our right leg, from our hip all the way down to our knees, and all the way down to our ankle, our right ankle. You can just move it around, relaxing and loosening our right leg, all the way down to our right feet, from our ankle to our heels and to our toes. Just relaxing and loosening our feet. And next, we bring our awareness to our left leg. Same thing, just notice any tightness, stiffness, just relaxing it and loosening it. From our hip to our left knees and all the way down to our ankle and all the way down to our left feet, our heels and all the way to our toes. Just relaxing it and loosening it. Once that's loosened and relaxed, then we can bring our awareness to our whole body and just notice any part of our body that's still a bit stiff or tight or still not at ease. You can gently just move it around, adjusting it and relaxing this whole body. Once the body is relaxed, that's good. you can let it be and let it go, and allow it to gently fade away in the background. Then we bring our awareness all the way up to our face, and just notice your face, is it still stiff? Is it still tight? If it is, just relax your face more. But sometimes a lot of tension is held out in the face. So if we can feel it, any stiffness, tightness in our face, especially our forehead, then we can relax and loosen our face. Once our face is relaxed and loosened, then we can bring our awareness back to our breathing. And all you need to do is just notice our breathing. Just breathing in and just breathing out. Sometimes I like to use the word, just breathe in peace and breathe out relax. Peace, relax. Or sometimes breathing calm and breathe out letting go. Calm, letting go. And just breathe normally and breathe gently. So our breathing is just to bring awareness to know that we're just breathing. So while we're staying, knowing our breathing in and breathing out, that's allow our thoughts to slowly lessen. As the thought becomes calm, we just are feeling our breathing in and breathing out. The same thing. As you become more relaxed, and you notice your breathing more, your thoughts will wander. That's fine. Just bring your awareness back to the breathing and back to the body. Just relaxing this body as much as possible. When this body is relaxed, it will settle and it slowly fade away. But we are silently aware of our breathing in and out. If our mind still wander on the past, we will just remind ourselves the past has happened. There's nothing we can do. We just let it go. And just be with this moment. And if we have thoughts of the future, we also let it go. The future is uncertain. Now is more important. We stay with this moment. We stay with this body. And we stay with our breathing. We know that we're breathing in and out, calmly and peacefully. We allow our breathing to relax this body and to calm the mind down. Allow this mind to settle. Allow our feelings and emotion to settle too. Because peace is important. When we find peace in our mind, in our heart, then we are free from the emotion of worry and anxiety. And when we have peace, then we're free from our thoughts. We stay with our breath, allowing the mind to slowly calm down and allow our mind, especially our thoughts, just to become an echo in the background. Thoughts will arise, we stay with our body and our breathing, then thoughts will disappear. So our thinking will become just like an echo in the background. But we stay with this peace, stay with this breath, and allow our mind to settle and calm, slowly calm down. And enjoy this peaceful moment with nothing to do, nothing to worry. At peace and free. If you have any energy or pain or anything arise in the body, it's okay. You can just gently move it around, adjust it, and just relax. Relax that body. And allow this mind to settle and just fade away in the background. And just gently bring your awareness back to the breathing. Just notice our breathing in and out, relaxing and calming the body, and allowing our thoughts and our feelings to settle. Meditation is not about stopping our thoughts or feelings. It's just allowing the mind to settle and to relax. So any thoughts that arise, it's just like the clouds coming and going. Or sometimes I like to use the simile, like the echo in the mind. It comes and it just disappears. as things become more quiet, you can just learn to relax this body as much as possible, and may make peace with this body. And if you can, just let it disappear in the background. As this body fade away, then we are free. And if any thoughts arise, it's just thoughts. It comes and it goes, but we don't get involved. We just let it be. Our thoughts are just like a child seeking for attention. But if we leave the inner thoughts alone, then that child will settle. And the child, the inner speech, will become silent. So we have 5 minutes left. So please enjoy the next 5 minutes, quiet and peaceful. When the mind is quiet, things become silent and peaceful and free. we'll be finishing soon. So it's always good just to be aware how more relaxed your body is and how more quiet the mind is. As we know, before and after, how more peaceful the mind is. So that way, you maintain that calm and peace inside. A mind that's relaxed, a mind that is peaceful, a mind that is tranquil, a mind that's completely free, is happy. So I'll ring the bell, just come out 3 times. After 3 times, come out slowly. Okay, so just relax for a minute or 2. So meditation is just learning to connect with this body, to feel, to understand. Because sometimes a lot of our thoughts and emotion can be translated to this body, especially our back, our upper body, and our face. As I noticed on the 3-day retreat that myself and Venerable Bodhi Dutch conducted in Melbourne, actually in Victoria, up in Newbury Buddhist Monastery. Right. When the retreatants came in, I can notice they're a bit stiff, and their mind is can be a bit scattered. And the second day, they're more relaxed. And on the 3rd day, they're more relaxed. Then the last day, I noticed they actually start to enjoy the mind is more peaceful and calm. Yep. And when the retreat was over, I just noticed people are more relaxed, more calm, also more happier. Because to find peace in this world is a bit rare. As we try and look for external happiness, but it brings a lot of busyness, duties, and we'll say it's almost like a constant hunger to find external happiness. So sometimes people can be very busy, just doing things in the world, and before you notice, our body can be quite tense. So it's good to connect with this body and relax it as much as possible. But more important is our mind. If we're not careful, then things like anxiety and worry will build up. Because on the first day of the retreat, we did have interviews, and we noticed people was talking very fast. So many thoughts and so much emotion coming out. Then the next day is less talking, less emotion. Then the last day, people was talking less and a bit more happy and more relaxed. So it does take the mind slowly to settle. But the more they settle, the more people settle, the more they become at ease. And the more free people become inside. But happiness is something can be only found in our heart and our mind. Not happiness from our desire, but happiness from our freedom, from getting too attached to the world through the 5 senses. Because if we are attached to the 5 senses, we will never find peace. We'll be always looking for that external happiness. But if we want to find happiness, freedom from our never-ending thoughts and desire, then we look inside our heart. When the mind is calm and peaceful, then we find happiness. not externally, but internal happiness and peace. Okay, so if anyone have any question, please ask me. If not, I'll just continue talking. Yeah. So meditation. Sometimes you need a support group, and when you have a support group, it's just easier to practice together. Because what meditation does is to purify our mind, purify our thoughts, purify our emotion, and also relax this body as much as possible. Because if we are so busy in the world, then we get controlled by the world, by other people, and especially our desires, because it never ends. The more we look externally, the more we get control. Because I notice when I have a smartphone, and if I connect to the internet, I can spend a lot of time. I think they call it doom scrolling, where you just look at all the stuff constantly. So on the retreat, we ask most people to turn off their mobile phone and just basically leave it in the car, or pass it to one of the monks, where we put it in a box and lock it away in the office. So that way they don't have to worry about family and friends. So I have more time just to connect to the body and the mind. And after a while, I think the first day was quite difficult for some people, but after a while, they found a lot of peace and freedom, not worrying about what's happening in the world. Because sometimes if we're so caught up, then we become so responsibility with things happening with our friends, our family. That it basically can consume our mind to the point where we're just so busy all the time. Even if we are at home, we distract ourselves with having the radio on or music on all the time. And sometimes we distract ourselves and there's no peace and there's no freedom. Because silence is something that we have to learn to develop. Once we develop silence, then it's very peaceful. It's very calm, not to have things that's distracting our five senses all the time. Because when we don't distract ourselves too much, then we can become more relaxed. And when we are more relaxed, then things like anxiety and worry is lessened. Okay. What else? So with the new retreat center in Newbury, it's called SOS, or Century of Silence. So it's basically for people to come in and just get away from work, from families, from jobs, and from basically other people. Because in the world, people are rushing all the time. So when I arrived in Victoria, I noticed people are just rushing so much. And people are so busy, and it's quite noisy. So it can be very crowded, and people are just rushing all the time. And once they rush so much, they tend to lose the simple things in life, like just being at home, being with friends, and having time just to read a book or enjoy walking in the park, instead of being controlled by the world. The more we get controlled by the world, the more tense we become. And when we are tense, then we tend to worry too much. So it's good. It's good to basically have a break. And for the people that go for the retreat, when they go back home, the feedback from the families, from the husband or the wife or the kids, they say that their family member is a lot more happier and more peaceful. So even the family members can feel it. And they say that they're more happier, less grumpy. Basically less explosive and less argument. So that's why that's the benefit of giving the mind a break. And also it's very healthy. you become very healthy. Yeah. And then when sickness arises, you can basically, when the mind is peaceful and the body is relaxed, then you can actually learn to heal more rapidly. Yeah. That's something I find when I was a lay person. When I learned to don't have too much anxiety and worry, my body just tends to be a lot more healthier. Yeah. So that's also one benefit. But the main thing is happiness, where you can sleep well, you can wake up well, you don't have bad dreams, your emotion is more calm and more peaceful. So I find being a Buddhist monk now, it's like almost like going back to when I was a child. So when I was a child, I was carefree, don't have a concern and worry. But as I got older and older, it felt like the responsibility and the burden of being a young person was like someone pressing on my head all the time, press, and pressing on my chest. So it's like really like getting more restricted and more tight. Yeah. And the body became more stiff. Yeah. And my mind, I can't stop thinking. But when I started doing meditation, I become less and less. And when I joined and become a monastic, it's just like almost like went away. And when it went away, I felt like, wow, this is really nice. I felt like I was happy as free as a child again. So I thought, okay, maybe if I stay as a monastic for 5 or 8 years, I can basically maybe go back to lay life, enjoy lay life, and reap all the benefit of what I learned as a monastic. But I realized these are condition, cause and condition. If we feed our mind with a lot of rubbish, then our mind becomes unhealthy. But we feed our mind with a lot of goodness, then it becomes healthy and free. So I realized staying in the monastery is basically learning to say no to the anger, no to the problem, no to the busyness. Yep. So when I say no to all this stuff, I become carefree. And when you're carefree, your mind becomes lighter, happier, purer, bright and radiant. So, yeah. Also pure. Okay, I guess we'll finish. And if you have any personal question, I'm happy to ask any question. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you. So please try back carefully. Okay.